Hi guys, my name is Ali and today I'll be talking about asynchronous request handling. This is not a new topic, it's been there for long but it's still confusing, and in this video we'll try to address some of the approach that's gonna be solved by asynchronous programming, and we'll try to show you some kind of mock environment so that you can visualize the thread starvation and what happened to the request that's coming after thread starvation, how queue behave, and what happened to the request when queue is full, and how the server turned down those requests. So let's see the agenda of this video. As I said that we are going to discuss about asynchronous request handling, and agenda of this video is to show the benefit of asynchronous programming by example. By example mean that we'll create a demo environment where we will try to see the thread starvation and queue handling. And once we have those environments set up, and then we'll try to make some changes into that one, and we'll see how we can solve the issues that we are facing with the synchronous programming approach. So first topic of this video is how requests are handled in IIS. We'll show you the full picture of the request handling in IIS, and then we'll set up the environment. For that purpose we'll use JMeter for web testing, and this is open source software provided by Apache. You can download from Apache software site. During my demo I'll show you where you can download this software, and also tell you or show you how you can set up the load test into this software. Once we have set up the environment, then we'll try to show you the thread starvation, and during this time we'll also try to create some kind of environment that will also show you how the server turned down the request. Once we have seen those things, then we'll try to address the thread starvation issue by using asynchronous programming. With this demo, we will not be able to completely avoid thread starvation, because the scenario that we are going to create, it's not realistic, but just to show you guys what happened during the thread starvation. So but we'll see the significant difference between the synchronous programming and asynchronous programming approach. So let's go to the first part of this video, and in this video, in this part, I'll explain you how requests are handled in IIS. As you can see on my screen, this picture, let me explain you what we have over here. We have a thread pool. Everything is within web server, but I put everything separate so that I can show you how things works together. And this website designed based on synchronous programming approach, and this thread pool is inside the web server, and this is the web server and client is sending the request. What happened at the time of request receiving? It takes one of the thread from the thread pool and assign that thread to that request, and that thread stays with that request until the request is served. It means it goes till end, and whenever the request is finished, then this thread goes back to the thread pool and ready to serve any other request. As you can see, we have 5 threads. It's not a realistic scenario, but we can assume that one thread equal to 10,000 threads, so it's mean we have 5 threads, so 50,000 threads, and one request equal to 10,000 requests. So we can say if one request, then 10,000 requests are coming in. And especially asynchronous programming is to improve the UI response, and with synchronous approach you cannot improve the UI response. Only time when you do asynchronous programming, then you can improve the UI response. But we'll see in this video later on. Let's see, if one request is coming in, as I said that one request coming in and one thread assigned to this request, and it stays with this request until the request is served. So request is coming in, and we can see that over here that a thread is assigned to this request. Once request is served, it's gonna go back two thread pool, and over here is again ready to serve any other request. So what happen if you have five requests coming in, then these all five threads are busy serving those requests. So let's suppose if you have five threads, five requests are coming in, all five threads are busy serving these requests. But what happen if any other request coming in, then but there is no thread to serve that. So what happened to this request is gonna go to the queue. So because there is no thread available, and this is the situation that we call thread starvation. But in this case, this request is going to the queue. But let's suppose we don't have enough space in queue as well, and queue is full, but during this period we have another request coming in to our website. So in that case, server, what it does, it turn down the request and send the response code 543, which is saying that service unavailable. Any request which is coming after our queue is full, then it's going to be turned down by the server, saying that response code 543, service not available. And this is the scenario that we'll try to show in our demo. And now I'm sure that you must have a very good idea how things work within the server. So let's jump into our demo, and over there we'll create an environment where we can show this thing what I have explained over here. So let's go to our demo. Now we are good with our explanation, and we are going to show the real demo that I have explained in my previous discussion. So let me fire up my Visual Studio. I'm using Visual Studio Community version 2017, and let me open up this one. Let me open this as an administrator, otherwise just start complaining, and run this as an administrator. So now we have our Visual Studio ready, it's running. Let me create one project, and we are creating simple ASP.NET web application. And for that, let me say AR demo project, and repository same. Just click MVC. It's an MVC application. Okay, our application is ready. Let's see, all the folders are available. Let me go to controller. Let's see what we have over here. It's nothing but a simple ASP.NET application. And over here, everything is good. Let's run this and see if it's working. Yep, everything is good. Click about, it's working. Contact. Yeah, let's close this. Yeah, we are good on this one, and let me go to properties. Right click on this one, go to properties. We're gonna deploy this in IIS. So let me click on web. Over here, just select IIS. We're saying AR demo project. That's it. Click on create virtual directory. We are good on this, and let me copy this. We need this later, and we are good. And let's go and publish it. So just click on this IIS FTP, and then click on this publish button, and say that this server is local host, and website is default website, and the website name is AR demo project, and address is this. Let's validate this connection. Yep, it's working. And now next, and say save. Not sure why we have this issue, but we are not going to fix this one. I have another way to fix this one. Let's because the reason my publish folder and Visual Studio folder both are same, so I believe I is looking for some of the file that's gonna be available only time when I run it through the Visual Studio. So let me go to Visual Studio, run it. Yep, it's gonna, I hope it's gonna fix this issue. Yep, and let's check this. Let me go to IS and refresh this and see the site. We air demo, and now browse this. Yep, we are good on this one. Yeah, this is working site. So as you can see that this is a pure ASP.NET application. We haven't made any changes to this one. Let's jump to the JMeter, where we set up the web load, and once we are done with the web load, we'll show you everything is working fine, and then after that we'll start making changes to the application, and we'll see the real thread starvation and what happened to the request when queue is full, and other thing that I have explained in my first part of this video. So let's jump into the web load setup. I already have this on my desktop, but as I explained you earlier, that JMeter is a open source software for web testing, and it's provided by Apache. You can go to Apache site. Let me show you the Apache site. This is the site that you can go and you can download the file from there. I'm running Windows 2010 and 64 bits, and this is the version that I downloaded. Yeah, it's not something that you have to install. Once you download, then it's a zip file. Just unzip this and copy into any folder that you like on your local computer. So I can show you here that I have downloaded this file. Let me see if I haven't down. Yeah, this is the file that I downloaded. After downloading, I went to my work, and over here I have this file copied. Under this file you can see all these folders and files, and in this folder you can go to bin. Under bin you will find this JMeter. I've already made a shortcut on my desktop. When I click on this one, it's gonna fire up my JMeter. Now my JMeter dashboard is ready. Over here we'll create the load testing environment, and it has already come up with one of the tests over here. So we'll start adding services to the existing one. So, or you can say new from here, but we already have this one. So let's start adding thread group. Thread group means we are simulating number of users. So let's suppose if I'm saying 1,000 users, I'm good on this, and let's change this AR demo project. And after adding this one, under this we'll add sampler HTTP request. It's asked for the website, so without HTTP we have to give the full address of the website, and no HTTP, because by default it's gonna take HTTP, no port. We are good on this one. Let's test this. Before testing, let me add the listener so that we can see the report as well. So view, and nothing added, no changes to the view. We are good on this one. Now let's run this. Or saying that before running, just save it. Let me save this. I can use SST1, not demo project, and then we save, and you can see all the requests are good, no issue. Up to here we have set up the environment. Our website is ready, our web load is ready, and everything is perfect. From here onward, we'll make this demo more interesting, and we'll try to make changes into IIS and our application so that we can show the thread starvation and queue situation at the time of thread starvation, and what happened to the request when the queue is full. So let's start making those changes. For those changes, let me go first to Visual Studio. In the Visual Studio, we'll go and make changes to web config. Under web config, uh, we have system.web. In this section, we have to add process model, and we say max worker thread 5, and we are saying max IO thread 5, and that's good. To add this process model tag into our web config file, you have to make some changes to machine.config file. If you don't make those changes to machine.config file, it's gonna complain right away. Even you cannot run this in IS Express. So let me show you what are those changes you have to make. But I have already made those changes. I'm not gonna make them, but I can explain you what you have to do. But before making changes, let's see what framework we are using. And for to check that thing, you have to click on this default application pool. Over here we are using .NET Framework version 4, so we're gonna make changes to machine.config under version 4. And when we have to go to uh, C drive, and the C drive, go to Windows and Microsoft .NET, and the .NET I'm using 64-bit, so I have to go under framework 64-bit. Over here you can see this, we have folder 4.0 version, and under this version we have a config file, and the config file just we have machine.config. Before making any changes to this file, just make a copy of this one, so that if you messed up with this file, so you won't be struggling fixing this one. Just you can revert the previous file, you should be good, because this is a file that's gonna affect the whole IS server, and once you have messed up, you will not be able to fix this very easily. So I would recommend just make a backup of this one. Once you have made the backup, just open up this file in Visual Studio. So you just Control F and search machine only. Machine only. In my case, I don't have any machine only because I have already replaced with machine to application. So if I search machine, so you will see that I have replaced all the places to machine to application. Why we are making this change? We are telling the IIS server that our application gonna maintain the threads in the thread pools. You do not supposed to take care of those things, because we are already have tag in our web config file, so application gonna take care of everything. In this situation, we have to do this thing so that we can show you guys the thread starvation. Once you are done with these changes, you can save, and let me minimize this. So once you are done with that change, you should be good over here. Let's save this file, and I will publish this again. Yeah. Same issue, let me run it from here, and then we should be good. Yep, it's working. Everything is good. So we have made one change, and now let me make another change. If you go to IIS and in pool, right click on this one, go to advanced property. Over here you can see this, we have queue length 10,000, so it can hold 10,000 requests at a time. So let me change to 100 and save it, restart is. Now we have made changes on both sides. Let's go to our web load. Okay, before going to the web load test, let me make another change to make it more interesting. And the change is we am going to create a small function that get a string, and in this function we are saying that thread dot sleep and say 220,000 and then return testing, and at the over here we'll use this like this, um, get a string. It's just to delay this process, and as you can see that I'm using this thread.slave, which is gonna be on main thread, and this is what the real issue with the synchronous programming, because in the synchronous programming it runs on the main thread, and this is what we are trying to simulate over here. So I'm saying that every request that's coming in is gonna stay for 2 seconds and then will be served. So all good on this side. Let's go back to web test. Let me first run this and see. Yep, website is working. Let me close this. Let's go to our JMeter web load testing, and let me clear this up. How many requests? We have 1,000, and yeah, things are good. Let me restart the IS. I've already IS over here. Let me restart to show the clear picture of this. We have 5 threads and 100 length of queue. Let's see. Yeah, 100 length of queue. So we are good on this one, and now let's run this one. Okay, it's still running. All pile up in queue. Nothing is being served because we have delayed. We have put delay in in one of the methods, one of the main methods. So it's gonna take 2 seconds, and then after that it's gonna serve this request. So we should be able to see some of the requests. Yep, some of the requests are successful, and as you can see this, some of them are showing 543 because queue is full, and the any request that's coming after queue full, it's gonna be turned down by IS, and those requests will be sent back to the client with the response code 543, which is saying that service unavailable. This is what I explained in the first part of this video. So it's still running because it's trying to serve some of them. Those are still in queue. So now, and let me show you this from perf monitor so that we can visualize clearly in queue. So let me go to perf monitor. We have one of the counter, but let me remove all of the counter first, and we'll add only the one we are interested in. As you can see, we have one of them is ASP.NET version 4, and this is our application framework. So in this we have one counter saying queue, and we can add it, and it says number of requests waiting to be processed. So whatever the request going into queue, those are the requests. Is gonna tell us that thing how many requests are waiting in queue. Let's click OK, and let me make some change to this one, and let's say 10, not 10,000, it's 10, and make it bold. We are good on this one. Let me show this side by side, and over here let me show this side by side. First let me clear this, and then I will run, or still running. Let me restart IIS over here just to show you guys. Okay, let me clear this. Now if I run it again, then you will see the thread starvation in 40, 60, 50. As you can see that it's gonna go up to 50, and this is where we'll try to improve and see how much we can do the improvement into this situation by using asynchronous programming. So let's jump into Visual Studio, and we'll make some changes over here, and then we'll run it again. So by making this asynchronous, we have to use async task, and then okay, task, and then change this to task dot. Okay, let me add this first. Yes, task, and then it's gonna be delay, and we can say wait, and we should be good. And what happened by using this one, it's not gonna run on main thread anymore now. The what task does, it's gonna take over the charge and hand it over to the worker thread, and release the main thread pull thread. And this way you can see that it's gonna drop the queue population. Let publish this to IIS. Yep, it's working. Let's close this down. Let me restart IIS again. You just clean up the queue and everything to see the actual result. So yeah, it's restarted. Let me close this, and now clear this and run this. Oh, 30. Now you can see that we have reduced the number of requests being queued by using the asynchronous programming. And this is the main purpose of this video, to show you exactly through the demo that what happened during the thread starvation and how we can overcome by using the asynchronous programming. And this is the right approach for any IO operation. Right now I did not use any IO operation in this application, but always just keep one thing in mind, that whenever you are doing any IO operation, you should use the asynchronous approach. I hope you like this video, and we'll see you guys again for any other good video. Okay, thanks, bye.